projects happening right now. One of which is that I've been hired as the rulebook editor for the Coloma Big Box, along with a fistful of meeples and both expansions for those games. So that's something that I'm working on right now. And I was just playing Deadlight recently, and thought that since my channel is on a hiatus for board games, I would really like to share some video games with people. I go by the gamer tag on PlayStation Franklin Street, so you can find me there. And I play all kinds of games, from RPGs to, well, I really like story games, exploration games. I'm also a huge completist, so I like to platinum games, and I'm someone who always likes to hunt down all of the collectibles and secrets. So I was playing Deadlight the other day. It's now 12 years old. It's a game by Tequila Works, and they also made the Sexy Brutale, Rhyme, which is a game that I've completed, a game called The Invisible Hours, which is kind of a mystery game, an iOS game called Wonder Worlds, a VR game that I'll probably never touch called Groundhog Day Like Father Like Son, and then two more games that are available for the PlayStation series: Guilt, it's spelled G-Y-L-T, and Song of Nunu, a League of Legends story. So if this is a publisher that I decide I like and I want to make content for more of their games, it's likely I would do maybe the Sexy Brutale, the Invisible Hours, Guilt, and Song of Nunu. I don't think I would go back and replay Rhyme, although it's a really fun and beautiful game, but I don't think I would go back and replay it unless people really wanted me to do that. Because I think I will probably just play things I haven't played yet and kind of move forward. Anyway, this is a really cool side-scroller. I've been catching up with some Metroidvania games a little bit lately, and this kind of came on my radar. It's not a Metroidvania game, but it is a side-scroller, and it's set during a zombie apocalypse, and it's Tequila Works' first published title. I think they released a different version just under Deadlight, and then they refined it a little bit, and now they've got the director's cut. So I played the first act last night, and it's in 3 acts. And what I'd like to do, since I'm a completist and I like to kind of get all the collectibles, is play through this kind of just as a let's play, so you can enjoy the story with me, and also try to get all the collectibles. And because I am a completist, once I put up enough videos to get through all the gameplay, I may go back and do other things to get the rest of the trophies. I think there's like a nightmare mode. I'm not sure if that's like a speed run. I think there's a survival mode. So if I'm having fun with it and people are enjoying it, I may post some more videos until I've sort of platinumed the game. But for now, over the next few videos, I'm just going to kind of do a let's play here. And the first act, since I've already played it, will just be looking to get all the collectibles. The next 2 acts that I'll do in separate videos will just be more of a let's play, because I won't really know what the collectibles are on a first play. I don't think you really have access to that information within the game. So I'll just play through it. When we get to those acts, you can enjoy it with me, and then perhaps I'll go back and get missing collectibles, the way that I'm going to do right now with Act 1. So this is sort of a collectible run. If I go in here and I go to select scene, you can see the 3 acts, right? So the one that I've played is called Welcome to Seattle. I haven't touched the other 2 yet. And if I go into Welcome to Seattle, it gives you the breakdown of the various chapters. Once we get over here, we're now in the 2nd act. So in this video, we won't be doing that. We're just going to get the collectibles for these 8 chapters. And they've all got titles. You can see they're Left Behind, The End of the Tunnel, Welcome to Seattle, Outskirts, A Chance Meeting, Checkpoint Charlie, Broken Homes, and Lou's Pawn Shop. And if you look below, you can see there's like an eyeglass symbol, so that means there are 2 secrets. I've gotten both of them here. And I'm not sure if the timer is just telling you like your best time or if there is initially a time to beat. Like if I look over here, this is just 8 minutes flat. So I think it's unlikely that I did that in 8 minutes flat. I probably just took more time, than their 8 minutes. So I probably didn't actually record a time. But like in this first chapter, I've already gotten all of the collectibles. And this one I've gotten all of the collectibles as well, and I'm either that 3:30 is the time to my time to beat or their time to beat. Now this is probably my time to beat. I probably did this in 1 minute and 26 seconds. It's probably very short little chapter here, and I got all 3 of the collectibles. But like this one, I'm missing one of the secrets still, so I need to go find that. I'm missing one of the secrets here. I'm missing a journal entry and a secret here. This one I've gotten everything, and that one I've gotten everything as well. But part of me doing this is so that if you're watching this and you're trying to find the secrets, I'm going to go back and hopefully find them all. And that way if you're watching this, you'll just be able to kind of follow along and see where they are, even the ones that I've gotten before. And I've got a little checklist with me. Now before we start this up, I want to go out here to this menu because there's something called Randall's Memories. And part of the reason I wanted to do a video on this because I was really enjoying the story and also just the setting. I mean, look at this title screen. It's just beautiful. This Pacific Northwest. It's just a really beautiful video game, and like the art that they have in the side scroller is pretty amazing. So I want people to be able to enjoy this with me and be exposed to this. But part of the story here is it's the diary. Okay. So there's 60 pages of diary, but I think this is a valuable story. And if I were just to go through and kind of show you everything here, I don't know how long I would want to pause it on the various screens so that everyone could have enough time to read it. So I'm actually going to take the time here to read through the journal entries that are here. We're going to skip some because some of them don't appear until you find them. And I will put a timestamp in this video, so if you don't want to hear me reading all of this, you can just skip it ahead to where the actual gameplay starts. And it's not going to take too long to read it, but I'm just going to read it so we can kind of enjoy this story together. And I think I have 2 journal pages that I found that are included in this, and then when we find more later, we'll read those. But if you're interested in the story here, which I think is kind of neat, this really kind of sets that up. So I'm just going to read through these to you. I think it's the best way to do it, and then we'll start in with the game. Okay. 1985, May 15th. I never thought that I could do something like this, resorting to a diary to express myself. But come on, what have I got to lose? My name is Randall Wayne. My friends call me Randy. However, I don't know many that call me that. A few days ago, I turned 33. I live in Hope, a small town in British Columbia. We are in a valley surrounded by nature, which is situated in the southwest of this great country called Canada. Here we have everything we need to be happy. If you compare my town to other cities, they're garbage. If I speak about those cities that I see on TV, Hope always seems the best place in the world for a man like me. My work also keeps me happy. I'm a park warden right here in the mountains. My work requires me to spend a lot of time far from home and to be in direct contact with the trees and the animals. I normally hike up the mountain by myself. Man can trust the mountain. The mountain never disappoints you. I don't need anything else. Sometimes having someone close is dangerous. Ordinary people speak too much and always disappoint you in the end. So some missing journal pages here for 3 to 4. June 6th. I lost my sense of direction today in the forest. I was going back and forth from the cabin, but I wasn't able to find the way back. In spite of having the right way in front of me, I couldn't see it. Tomorrow, I have to go back. It seems that there are poachers looking for trouble. I hate people that look for trouble, because those who look for it will always find it, although what they find might not be exactly what they expected. In the afternoon, I found a deer which had been run over on the road. It was a strange day. September 9th. Where have you been hiding, my dear diary? I have my daughter to thank for finding you again. I forgot to write, I know, and already summer has almost gone at a stroke. I like this exercise of writing, opening myself to others. Even though nobody will read it, it gives me peace of mind. I feel that I exist. Also, I like to read things like this in the books that I carry to my watches. You never forget the thump, eh? A blow on the very heart. You remember it, you dream of it, you wake up at night and think of it years after and go hot and cold all over. J. Conrad. I was the same age as my daughter when my father abandoned my mother and disappeared for good. I think that childhood event really affected me and stayed inside me just like a burn that will always leave a scar on your skin, although the wound is closed. A vivid memory of what it became. When you abandon something, it's because you don't want it. I believe so. I will never be like him. I will never abandon those that I love. Between a father and a son, there are big differences. October 2nd. Today I have a headache, sore bones. The cold weather has begun and the mountain is getting ready for the new season. I also had a terrible migraine in the afternoon. October 10th. What an obsession. I spent a whole day with numbers in my head. A 10 for here, a 16 for there, and an infinite number of trees that I have counted in the forest. 3 foxes, 1 bear, 10 words said in all day and 30 times that I've sat down to see the horizon with binoculars. 250, 2 steps from the cabin to the road, 30 steps to go around the cabin. I don't know how many words there are in this diary, but there are many more words that are burning inside me, the words that I don't write. I'm afraid of closing my eyes and dreaming. I'm having this fear of everything coming back again, and the wind of the past hits my back. This loneliness doesn't seem enough, and nor is enough to write on this notebook now. Sometimes I also see what happened if I'm awake. October 15th, Thanksgiving. Today was a day to remember. My wife made a great stew again. The whole family had dinner in silence, but it was a pleasant silence. It's not always necessary to fill the emptiness with words, right? Instead, Lydia was a bit sad for Nick. She says that he deserved better. Nick deserved better, and I think that we all deserve better. At least Nick's meat was tasty. Typical of kids, the way they insist on personifying the world around them and on giving names to everything that they find. I had to break Nick's neck myself with my bare hands. It's not that I'm a coward, but I don't like killing animals with my hands, even less so when it's got a human name. In my job, sometimes I have to sacrifice animals that are sick or that pose a danger to others. I know that all deaths are the same, even if it was a turkey with the name of a used car dealer. October 19th. They have sent a message warning the poachers. Ben Parker, an acquaintance of the town, made a phone call to the warden's office. It seems that he saw some hunters in a protected sector. Ben is a good guy. I think he's the only man in the town who I can talk to. I saw him in the mountain and he's not one to look for trouble. He's often come to see me and we talk about this and that. He is a man of the world and easy to get along with. On the way back, I came across a van parked at the side of the road. 2 girls were on the shoulder playing like little kids, playing and laughing. I've known those idiots for some time. They're always hanging around. The younger one, a tanned and chubby girl, couldn't stop smiling. She didn't say anything special. Unlike the other one, they're from Vancouver and were looking for plants that help to cure goodness knows what illness. I've warned them. The forest knows how to find its food. It's not safe for girls to go into the forest to pick flowers. Wild animals do their job, just like I do mine. When they were leaving, over the engine sound, I could still hear one of the girls laugh. I hate city people. October 22nd. Dreams are my reality. October 24th. I'm afraid of the night. 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 December 5th. In In spite of the migraine, I may still be able to forget everything and be only aware of the good things inside me. When my maternal grandmother, who was already over 80, died, the only person she had beside her was a nurse. The old woman lived alone and died alone. The girl said that before my grandmother died, she lifted her head up off the pillow and looked from one side to the other, as if she were trying to find someone, and then she lay down again and died. There is no doubt that a void surrounds me, but I am also sure that I haven't completely fallen into it. At times, I feel that if I lift up my head, I will be able to cross to the other side. December 12th. Lydia has all the imagination that her mother lacks. Shannon has been worried and angry for a few days. I can tell that she's upset with me. I know well that I have spent time outside more than I should have, but in this season, and with the chaos of the poachers and the hunting, I couldn't do more for her, nor for us. I know that, and I feel sorry. December 25th. Don't you like it, Randy? The mountain is beautiful. Merry Christmas. Happy 1986. January 14th. Yesterday I went back to Harry's Corner for the first time in a year. I don't like closed spaces. I was only going to have a beer with Ben and would leave after that, but he was late. The stuffy air of Harry's Corner and all those regulars analyzing each one of my gestures makes me very nervous. I don't like how those guys look at me. I don't like when they speak. I don't like their laughter. I can't hear what they say, but I'm sure that they're talking about me. When Ben arrived, he brought some wrinkled clippings from the local newspaper. He remains concerned with the attacks in the forest. What does he want me to say? I can't do anything. But Ben stands his ground because the best we can do is organize for some people of the town to go out to the mountain to chase the bears. He is sure that if we scare off some of them, the people from the city will return, and that the business will return. I told him what I think. The carrion nourishes soil, and even though you can scare off some animals, new ones will come. If you pull out a fang today, a new one, a stronger one, will grow back tomorrow. Nature is like that, and the men who want to control it are like that. February 27th. There's a strange feeling of unrest in the forest. I'm getting it from the trees and animals. What the hell is happening in this world? Altercations with the police in southern Poland? It seems like something serious is happening in Europe, but they're not saying anything. I think they're hiding the worst part. People say that the army is launching chemical agents over a little town. The people are mad furious. Several cops have died, but the government denies it. It's snowing again today, and the silence here is scary. March 1st. Since that strange dream that I had, it seems like the world is awaking every day with a new revolution. Normally I don't pay too much attention to the news or television, but something serious is happening. That's for sure. Shannon is worried too. She wants us to go to the town to buy some food. Supplies, she says. She says that she's talked with some neighbors and they're getting prepared. There has been lots of tension that seemed forgotten in Europe. A wave of violence? A new world war? I already said that you can't trust those commies. March 7th. A week has passed since the last time I wrote. I didn't really know quite what to say today. They're talking a lot about an infection. People are getting it ill all around the world. They die easily. They are sacrificing animals. Europe is in quarantine and nobody knows what to do. There have already been some confirmed cases on the east coast of the USA. The Prime Minister says that there is nothing to be worried about, but nobody believes him. I forbade my wife from leaving the house. I will take care of everything. March 10th. We had a meeting in the head office. One of the Mounties supervisors has come to visit us and given us some advice, plus information. It seems like it is a rabies epidemic, but the virus has mutated, he says, and like during any other epidemic, we need to take special precaution when dealing with wild animals. In some cases, the deaths and mutations, like other problems in the forest, have stemmed from them. If a human is attacked, he will present the same symptoms almost immediately. We must raise the alarm about any sighting on the mountain. March 12th. The wave of violence has spread beyond Europe. They say that the hospitals weren't ready for something like this, but what does something like this mean? What are they talking about? About an innocent rabies epidemic? No, I don't believe them. But the lies go further. People on this side of the ocean say that everything is under control. They're talking about more than 300 people being affected, but I don't really know if that word means the dead or the infected. Those bastard politicians, they keep lying. Today a plane crashed in the Gulf of Mexico. Nearly 150 people are missing. And is God considering doing anything? I am not a religious person, but I know that any wild fox that I protect out there is stronger and fairer than the God that they pray to. I need to go back to the forest, go back to the place where I am who I am, and where nothing worries me. March 16th. Nobody walks the streets alone. Everybody goes with somebody else. We can chew the fear like wasted chewing gum that lasts forever. They broadcasted some images on TV. A man entered a bank and without saying anything, attacked the workers and customers. He didn't take a single cent. When he went out, the police shot him, but he kept walking towards them without fear. Too much blood on TV these days. March 23rd. Shannon, my wife, is very nervous, but she doesn't want Lydia to know it. We keep her out of it. March 25th. We've lost communication with the outside world. Yesterday I switched on the TV and they were broadcasting emergency signal together with an irritating buzz. Also, those cowards in Ottawa are hiding. The radio isn't working either. We can't hear anything. Well, I lied. The local station is working, but they keep putting music on all day long. Nobody speaks. Nobody tells us anything. There is a heavy silence. March 26th. And this is one of the pages that I've recovered. A dance of helicopters all morning. Shit, it's there again. It's the same one that has spent the night flying through the valley. It looks like the military is finally getting involved in the problem. They are emitting a message. The local population has to go to the aerodrome in the afternoon. There is no time, they say. It seems that the army will take us to a secure area. So the city is no longer secure. A tiny town isolated from everything and surrounded by a deep forest, protected by mountains, is no longer secure? What the hell are these men talking about? I don't understand anything. Hope. How ironic. The city has become a place without hope. I must do something. My family is in danger. Whatever it is, it has arrived in Canada. April 20th. I haven't written anything for quite some time. Our town was overrun. I fought with Ben and the other men, but our barricades were useless and there was no stopping them. When I got back to the house, Shannon and Lydia had gone, just like everyone else. There had been a mass exodus from the town of Hope. Parker and I followed, and since then we haven't separated even to answer the call of nature. We walked through the forest, fleeing the catastrophe, channeling our remorse, until we reached Vancouver. We thought that in a big city, things would be better. That we'd find our people. How naive we were. Vancouver is unrecognizable. There is no food, no fuel, no hope. We ran away, taking shelter like animals, barely sleeping. There are hundreds of these things everywhere. Shadows. That's what they're called. That's what they've called them since it started. Shadows that live in the darkness, that once had human form, that once belonged to men. Shadows of a life that has ended. Their sinister wails torment us night after night. I think of Shannon and Lydia every second. They're out there somewhere, frightened and on the run. Talk about looking for a needle in a haystack. I miss them so much. April 30th. Today Parker and I discovered a group of survivors. They had been hiding since the city collapsed more than a month ago. Like in Hope, they no longer have water and food. They are scared. They drift around the city suburbs, and for a moment they were about to kill Ben and me. The group is composed of 2 adult males and 2 women. They are armed. One of the men is a cop, but he is very old. The other seems like he's never shot a gun in his life. He looks like a university professor. Redhead, skinny, cannon fodder. The women are twins, young. They are a reflection of each other. It seems that they're not related to the men, but I don't know why the men have been protecting them for such a long time. The old man says that he heard a message on the radio from a crashed police car. The message talks about a city on the other side of the border. He wants us to go south. He already talks about us as if we were a group. He says, we must help each other, he says. Ben thinks that it's the best to all go together, a group, a herd. Tomorrow we'll head to Seattle. There's a talk of a safe point, a migration. Shannon, Lydia, they're somewhere on that road. May 14th. Surviving is not child's play, particularly when darkness falls. Nights repeat themselves and our travels never begin. We travel slowly, stealing fuel from abandoned cars. Sometimes we come across the shadows, other times we must confront them. You must shoot them in the head, that's all. This is the only advice that God gives us to survive this apocalypse of the dead that wake up and walk. But if it's true that they are not alive, why do they need to feed on us? Now the nightmare doesn't end at sunrise. We woke up at dawn in an abandoned barn next to the survivor group from Seattle, together with Ben. The twins were not sleeping this time. No, instead they were screaming. They were screaming outside. The university professor was outside for his watch. The university professor had been attacked while he was watching over us. A bite on his arm. He was bleeding. We had to clean up the area. Later, the redhead guy, the damn university professor, bled to death in front of us and he stopped breathing. We all knew what was going to happen next. Every single one of us. I had to sacrifice him. June 7th. Lydia, Shannon. Names that I can't forget. My head is divided into thousands of fragments. Little pieces of smashed crystals, ground sugar, interrupted words. A puzzle that I can't solve anymore. There is no future. There are the days without any tomorrows. July 1st. When I was younger, I could remember everything. Things that happened and that did not happen. Now I have to look through these pages if I want to find my memory. We can see the city from far away and everything we heard about it seems true. Seattle is a ghost city. You'll never find a place that's nice and peaceful because there isn't any. It didn't exist before, and even less so now. You can deceive yourself, like this professor. You may think there is, but once you get there, when you're not looking, somebody will sneak up and write "fuck you" right under your nose. July 4th, and this is the last 2 pages in the book, and this is something that I've found already. One of the girls died today. Young Carla died in an abandoned warehouse, and I no longer feel anything for her. I don't feel even a tiny bit. Grief is something that disappears with death. More than 4 months have already gone by since the start of this bloody disease that has destroyed our little world. Everything that we knew in the world is gone. 4 months that changed the rules of nature and human beings. Also 4 months without my wife and daughter. It's hard to keep on going when 4 months seems like 4 years. Harder still to keep hope alive. Doing my best to find them in the only place they could be. Today even the young people die. And the thing that still puzzles me the most is that some keep living, or whatever they call the condition they are in. We are survivors of a fading world. Well, sometimes I doubt and wonder, are we alive, or are we also dead? 2 days have passed since we entered Seattle looking for our last chance. It's the 4th of July today, a special day for Americans. Independence Day, they say. The birthday of the nation. How stupid to think about births. No one will celebrate anything today. Okay, so that is the journal. I think it just adds a little something to the story that we're about to play through. I am going to pause for a second here and upload this video, and then I'll start a new video with the actual gameplay.